All right, welcome in. Oh, there we are. Yeah, so we're going, maybe catching up here. We missed last Wednesday. Gonna be doing a BBM, last minute draft. We're sneaking another one in. We've been doing like one weekly. We're at 11. This would be 12. Certainly not maxing or anything, but dabbling or getting the toes wet in some BBM this year. And there's been a lot of news, Dan. I don't know if maybe we should just touch on a couple things here. And some of I guess, like, obviously we're Dynasty Channel too, and they kind of go, whatever, like the Dynasty round 18 guys are kind of like the same guys that we like stashing and picking up at the end of our benches for Dynasty. So maybe we should, maybe we should tip or whatever. Can't speak right now. We should point out some guys that have been rising up our boards like crazy, and we're trying to not be at zero or trying to get more of.
Right. Yeah. I mean, a guy we've been talking about a lot is Cam Akers. I mean, he's not necessarily attached to any particular news, but just a guy that's kind of been. It just seems like clearer and clearer that he could be potentially like the RB2 on one of the best offenses in the NFL, because Dameon Pierce has just like not been able to do like anything in preseason. He's putting up stat lines like 4 carries for 0 yards. It just doesn't seem like he's a good fit for that offense. And it's not a whole lot else there. And Joe Mixon's is old and kind of washed. And
Akers will look good.
Akers will look good. Yeah, surprisingly. Yeah, even from that first Hall of Fame game, he had that wicked spin. It was like, oh damn, Akers back, looking like he's back here maybe. So he's not dead yet. I mean, he's only 25, something like that, and he was a good prospect. So it's like kind of looking interesting all of a sudden. So yeah, definitely want some Cam Akers in the last round of underdog drafts.
Yeah, and he's been starting to go. Just got sniped on him the other day. The other guy we were that's going to be shooting up boards and you should be getting your exposure to is the RB2 in San Francisco now. Oh, yeah. And this is someone that, I was always team Elijah Mitchell, and then, then he was getting hurt. And
wait, Elijah Mitchell getting hurt? Come on. That never happened.
Could never saw that one coming. And then
I mean,
Dan, you were always beating the drum on Jordan Mason. So I gave in, got 5 shares in Dynasty off the wire because he was not rostered in any leagues of mine, at least. And even in deep benches and whatnot. So we went ahead, picked up a bunch of Jordan Mason. I know you got some too, and we've been picking him in underdog drafts, or when I've been doing some alone, getting him round 18. He's got to shoot up to where Mitchell is going, maybe even higher, because we know he's the backup now with season-ending IR for Mitchell. So he'll probably going around the 170s eventually before the season, kind of where Mitchell was floating around. And he's an exciting pick, honestly, now, to me. An exciting player.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially with CMC kind of banged up, you just, never know what could happen there. And, you could suddenly, with Jordan Mason, have, the RB1 on the San Francisco 49ers. That's a good spot to be in. So, yeah, you definitely want to get some Jordan Mason. Just the upside is crazy for just the position he's in on that offense. And, Mason's been very efficient when he's had opportunities. It seems like he always averages 5+ yards a carry. And, I don't know if it's, he's, kind of low key good, or it's just a good situation or a combination, but he just always seems to do well when he gets the opportunity. And, unlike Elijah Mitchell, he's generally healthy and available when called upon. So yeah, love me some Jordan Mason.
That's the important part. Both guys have been great when on the field. Mason at 5.6 per carry, I believe, in his career, because this is his 3rd year now, right? So he would be at 5.6. I just saw that today. He's been great.
Yep. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, Andrew texted me. I don't know if you wanted to send the Zoom link to him in case he wanted to jump on here too. But yeah, if you get a chance, you might want to shoot that over to him.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that right now while we're
here
if he wants to hop in.
I could talk about some of the other guys kind of trending up on Sleeper right now. I mean, that's just kind of honestly, even if you don't play Dynasty, you can still download the Sleeper app. And it's just interesting to kind of look at the players trending up. That just kind of gives you a good quick indication of some guys that probably have some like news surrounding them or news surrounding like other players like on their NFL team that, impacts their fantasy value. And yeah, you can just like click on them and like see what their latest like news blurb is or whatever. But yeah, Dalvin Cook is we'll start at the top. Number 1 is Emmanuel Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, yeah, the big news is that AJ Dillon was put on season-ending IR with his neck stinger issue. So yeah, we didn't think it was going to be that serious, but I guess when you're dealing with the neck, you never know. So yeah, Emmanuel Wilson is kind of like the guy standing after Josh Jacobs because of course Marshawn Lloyd has been dealing with a hamstring issue for a while, typical like nagging hamstring issue. So yeah, Emmanuel Wilson's kind of a guy I've always liked. It seems like he's got like good vision and patience when he runs, and he's kind of got like pretty good like top end speed once he gets going. Considering like how big he is, he's definitely a bigger running back, like 226 pounds, 5'10". So yeah, he's kind of an interesting guy. I mean, great offense in the Packers. So yeah, give me some Emmanuel Wilson. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Jacobs had some injury issues, which makes him more interested. Like the thing that makes him really interesting is that he's not even the RB2 technically because I mean, who really knows? But like it's probably Lloyd, but Lloyd has missed so much time.
But when is that going to be? So
exactly.
Yeah. Do you think Emmanuel Wilson is draftable and underdog now in like the last round?
I think so, simply because Lloyd is just drafted in every draft.
Yeah.
And we know that uniqueness is one of the biggest edges. And I mean, all you're betting is that he's the RB2. Right. If he is the RB2 and something happens to Jacobs, there you go. But yeah, obviously Lloyd.
It's kind of like it's like what we always say about Jalen Wright. Like if either of the two running backs ahead of him in like the committee get injured, then all of a sudden like the RB3, whether it's Jalen Wright or now Emmanuel Wilson, they step up into that role and they're on an offense that typically features like 2 running backs in a given week that can both potentially produce.
I'm interested to see what happens because it really feels like it's just going to be like workhorse Jacobs, even though that's never what LaFleur's done. But I mean, there's just
at this point it could be. I mean, that's in the range of outcomes. So yeah, I mean, it's probably like stock up for Josh Jacobs a little bit. And honestly, like even Marshawn Lloyd, like if his ADP starts going down, he might kind of. What?
He's at like 180, or the other day he's at like 178.
Yeah, well, I mean, he could kind of become a value because you got AJ Dillon out of the way. So once Lloyd gets healthy, he could be a guy that could like put up some like big spike weeks like down the stretch of the season. So like, I kind of like him if he's fallen.
Yeah, exactly. Again, for underdog late in the season, he avoided IR, so he probably should be suiting up within the first 4 weeks. And I mean, you weren't expecting really anything from the first 4 weeks anyways, so. You can take a discount right now on Lloyd. Feels
might as well. Yeah, absolutely.
What else do we have? Any other news?
Yeah, so also looking at the top of Sleeper, I mean, Pierre Strong is there because surprisingly the Browns cut Deontay Foreman, who we both love.
So many zeros now on Foreman.
No, because he's going to go to the Cowboys and he's going to be a league winner. So that's what we're hoping for. So, like, I mean, someone's going to sign Deontay Foreman. So hopefully he gets an opportunity at least as like a RB2 or RB3 and has a chance to carve out a role or step in, if there's an injury. So I definitely don't think Foreman is dead. But yeah, I guess Pierre Strong is by default like the RB2 on the Browns, and there's really no one else there because like Chubb and Nyheim Hines are both on IR for the moment. So yeah, I guess Pierre Strong is kind of interesting. I mean, I don't know if you draft him an underdog, but maybe.
I'd throw him on the back of my benches and maybe an underdog draft. Yeah, I mean, I've been a big Ford guy. So.
Yeah, so Pierre Strong is 3, trending up on Sleeper. And then number 2, I forgot to mention, is Dalvin Cook because he's supposedly like set to visit the Cowboys. And so we'll see if anything happens there. I'm probably not drafting him an underdog, but keep an eye on him, I guess.
Yeah. Anything else that's important? Or
I mean, as far as like underdog goes, I mean, those are probably the most important things that are at least coming to mind here. I'm kind of scrolling down here on
the other like big thing was Skylar Thompson's a QB2, and that does not matter.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously there are other little interesting tidbits that you and I were talking about earlier that, impact like, our dynasty benches and things like that. But I don't think anything else that's like too significant as far as like underdog is concerned.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lions released Donovan Peoples-Jones, so that does kind of solidify Khalif Raymond as their wide receiver 3. So he might be kind of interesting, like in the last round of like an underdog draft, especially if you have like Goff to get the stack.
Yeah. People have been on the Khalif, and maybe I've clicked them at least one time. I'm not sure, but yeah, Khalif is certainly a draftable guy right now.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Khalif Raymond isn't a guy that, like, a lot of people necessarily, like, really know. But, like, as a Lions fan, like, I can tell you, like, he's pretty good at football. Like, I mean, I rarely ever see him make a bad play. Like, usually when they give Khalif Raymond the football or throw it to him, like, usually good things happen. So, like, he didn't play a ton of snaps last year. But, like, with all the, vacated targets now with, like, Josh Reynolds out of there, now, you don't have to worry about Donovan Peoples-Jones. Yeah, Khalif Raymond could kind of be sneaky in a best ball format.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to make sure no one is saying that they want to join the draft. We're going to go ahead and join. I mean, who knows? 50-50 whether this is our last BBM. It's filling out quick, but
that's crazy. Yeah, it's gone by so fast.
Yeah. So 3, 2, 1, go. And yeah, I mean, this is kind of our last chance to call our shots. I mean, honestly, seeing how many zeros are popping up on these BBM teams, it's got to be optimal to like start drafting now. The issue is it's so hard to get 150 drafts in for like the people that are maxing.
Right.
To do it this late. But yeah, I don't know. I'm team. This is probably the best time to draft. You got any opinion on that?
I mean, you're probably could speak on that a lot better than me. Cause yeah, I mean, I'm pretty new to like underdog and like, doing these like best ball drafts. Although, I mean, I feel like I've seen so many like countless like YouTube videos about it that like, I feel like pretty well versed on like the strategy and everything, but in terms of like when is like the optimal time to draft, like I really couldn't say. So I definitely defer to your judgment on that one.
Well, the only thing that you got to consider is you get discounts if you're ahead of the market.
Sure. Right.
Early on. But injuries happen. People get hit IR. People get suspended, whatever it might be. ADP shift around a lot is really the main thing. And if you're taking Hopkins at 55 in a draft, well, now you get him at, what is he going at right now? He's going like the 80s or something. He is, holy crap, scroll the F down from him. 90, pick 90. So, yeah, I don't know. Honestly, for me, there's a bunch of discounted like players for weird reasons right now, and maybe it's overreacting on like the Addisons and Hopkins. And stuff.
But no, I see what you mean though, because like now we have like the most information, so you're probably going to be able to draft like the best team at this point.
Because you're getting the low owned guys like the Akers. Maybe it's Emmanuel Wilson or something crazy, but Jordan Mason is one of them certainly. He won't be drafted in a lot of drafts. At this point, right? So and you waste your zero, like you're not getting zeros at this point.
Right.
Or you're minimizing your risk of it because instead of drafting Deneric Prince, who's not even on the Chiefs anymore,
right?
If you wanted to get gross, you get Carson Steele or whatever it might be.
Dude, how have we not talked about Carson Steele yet? Come on,
dude,
Did you see that stiff arm on that like 40-yard run in the preseason game? Like it's Carson Steele season, baby.
Yeah, my God, stop. So yeah, I mean. Who thought we'd be drafting Carson Steele in an underdog? But he's a draftable player now. Can you call him the RB2 for the Chiefs? I have no clue. He's fullback.
I don't know if I don't even know if that would be a bold take at this point, but like, I mean, kind of by default, like I feel like he is. So like, I mean, he's like the RB2 that I'm drafting. I mean, I don't.
No doubt he's fullback 1. So.
Hey, fullback 1. Hey, if it's if it's a Mike Allstott kind of fullback 1 or like a Peyton Hillis kind of fullback 1, like we'll take it.
Yeah. So yeah, what pick did we get? We got pick 12? Of course we did. So.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, I mean, there's just no worse place to be.
I know, it's brutal.
Drafting, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right, we'll make it work though. We'll make it work.
Yeah. And look at this, like the Puka and Marv thing. This feels like so chalky if we get it.
Puka and Marv,
What the heck do we even do here? So
I mean, we just kind of go wild and crazy here, do something different.
I'm pretty down. I'm fine taking like Puka at this, like if he's there. I don't know if he will be. I doubt he will be.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see the Marv thing like for myself like at this.
Yeah.
I've just never been able to see it. Holy crap, Bijan Robinson is sitting there. Like,
Oh
what
wow.
the heck? What a steal! Like, of course we
Oh
can't get
yeah, of
pick
course
10 or
he
11.
goes one pick before us. Man, that would have been nice.
I'm honestly okay. Here's one thing I wanted to mention about Debo.
Mhm.
I know that Jordan Mason is RB2. Technically, Debo is like RB 2.5.
Hey, okay.
So do you want to
Yeah.
go Puka and Debo?
Yeah, love it.
But don't you remember like when they just didn't have CMC?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Debo was like, you know, he obviously wasn't like RB1, but like he was
Yeah.
RB what 1.5, and
Right.
Elijah Mitchell was getting his carries and all that stuff. But I don't know if anyone's talking about that. And you know, who was I talking? It must not have been you, but maybe I was talking to Trent about that. Yeah, he said something about Debo, and I was like, you know, Debo is like this weird handcuff for like running backs too, even though like
Yeah.
you know they got those other guys, but
Oh yeah, I mean they definitely use him more when CMC is hurt. So like, yeah, I think that's a really sneaky thing to consider with the Christian McCaffrey injury is like kind of like bump Debo up a little bit.
yeah, if you can't draft the Niners RB1 at first overall, you might draft
Yeah, exactly. Just get Debo and then grab
Debo,
Jordan
yeah.
Mason late, and like you're all set, man.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Yeah, he's a pretty interesting
Oh
pick,
yeah,
and he's been pushing up the board, rightfully so.
and you just love him in best ball because he just has that high weekly ceiling. So
Yeah, he feels like he's worthy of a pick 13, where I know I love Drake London and stuff, but again, this isn't even full PPR, so it's
yeah, I don't know. I mean, London could certainly break out this season, and I'm not saying he shouldn't be drafted high, but it just feels kind of boring taking like London in like the early second.
it just it just doesn't feel right. Like
Yeah, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel
the wrong
good.
way.
Yeah,
So, and like honestly, I like it's funny
Pacheco,
because
baby, Pacheco.
oh, is he always sitting there? Okay, yeah, he's not
Come
coming to
on.
us. He's not coming to us. He's been pushing up the board like crazy.
Okay.
Although I will say, man, is Jacobs more interesting now? Like to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could talk me into taking maybe a little ahead of ADP or certainly at ADP.
So here's one thing I want to bring up, and this is how I've been drafting all my teams, Dan, and like lately. And I don't know, maybe we could like coin a term for this because obviously all the best bros they got terms for this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you call this like the correlation like hive or like team bubble of correlation, but the Niners, Rams, Dolphins, and
Texans,
and you can throw the Chiefs in there too. They are like this mash of like elite offenses playing each other in weeks 15 to 17.
right?
Obviously not like it is like that bubble of 5. Some have played like all of them or whatever, like 2 of them, and some might just be one matchup in there. But those are like
they all kind of play each other a bunch over the course of those 3 weeks.
Yeah, they're all staggered somehow, and that's one. And then there's another interesting one. It's the Bears, Packers, Seahawks, and Vikings, and those 4 are a little less exciting, but their players are cheaper. And somehow you can kind of like mix these two together,
right?
Or in different drafts, and
Yeah.
you get a pretty exciting, bet in at least for advancing your teams rather than just for optimizing for week 17. You can still do that, but you can increase your chances probably dramatically. Even if it's just like 1%, that's a massive amount.
Oh yeah, I love that, and I mean, like, I don't know if like you came up with that yourself.
I did. I have not heard anyone mention that, but I'm sure someone out there
Dynasty
probably smart enough. I'm sure people are smart enough to realize that, but like I've never heard that mentioned, like this hive of like teams.
Yeah, I mean, I watch a stupid amount of like fantasy content on YouTube, and I have never heard that mentioned. So
by the way, we are up. So I just want to
Zay Flowers. I like
Zay Flowers. Do you want to go Rashid because he's right here?
If you want, yeah.
Okay.
Ready to do it.
I actually don't know if Rashid's a good pick at all, because people have discounted Rashid Rice's. What I will say is let's just not care about it because he's part of the hive.
Yeah, I figured that's what you're going for.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just give it a shot here.
Sam is there. Josh Allen is. I don't want Josh Allen. I mean, we'll put Zay Flowers. He's kind of part of it, but not
unless
really.
you want to do unless you want to do Kelsey.
Kelsey, yeah, let's do Kelsey.
Right.
Screw it. I don't have much Kelsey, so yeah. The one thing I don't even really want to click on Rice anymore and BBM because people have them at like pick 89 and 90,
Right.
but
Exactly.
but they don't have the information we do now, so we can get unique.
Oh yeah, because those teams aren't going to have Cam Akers and
Exactly.
Emmanuel Wilson and like Jordan Mason and all those guys. So yeah, it'll be unique.
So yeah, I have heard people talking about that where they don't want Rashee Rice now, but you gotta factor in we're gonna have players that they don't, and
yeah, but let's just make sure that like we better get a couple of those unique players on this team, otherwise it won't work.
Absolutely. So going back, I have not heard any. Obviously, people have mentioned week 15 and 16 correlate more for that, and it happens like naturally, but I've never heard any people identify these teams, especially like the Seahawks. I mean, whatever, all the teams, but like the Seahawks, Vikings, Packers, Bears one is really interesting to me because the Vikings defense as a whole, like it should be solid, but their secondary is going to be getting lit up probably.
Right.
Yeah, it's just so many unfortunate things has happened to that secondary, as everyone would know, and yeah, so you want to play against the Vikings in the playoff weeks, and who do we have playing against them? The Packers, Seahawks, and Bears, which are all like pretty, not like completely cheap players, but their quarterbacks are relatively cheap, and you can get some backdoor stacks, right? So.
Oh yeah, I mean, like give me like Bo Melton and Dontavian Wicks and Emmanuel Wilson and Tucker Kraft. I mean, like you can kind of go deep with the Packers. Like all those guys have upside.
Yeah, there's a lot of combos. For the Packers there, and the Bears have quite a few more expensive weapons. But again, you can make sure you come away with those players.
Yeah.
Again, Seahawks have players at all levels of the draft, so I'm really excited about those teams.
Who's your favorite like RB2 for the Bears? Like who are you taking first? Like Khalil Herbert or Roschon Johnson?
Dude, honestly, I don't know if anyone knows the answer to this.
Yeah.
Do you have like a preferred one yourself?
Gosh, I really don't. I mean, I guess like maybe you could say like Roschon theoretically has like more upside just because like we haven't really gotten to see him yet, and he was kind of a fun prospect with maybe some hidden talent that was like hiding behind Bijan Robinson at Texas. But like Khalil Herbert's always been kind of sneaky, underrated good. So like, I don't know. I guess I would lean toward like Khalil Herbert because like I know he's a good player, whereas Roschon I don't. But I could see taking the upside swing, I guess, at Roschon because he's more of like a mystery box.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess we don't know if he's like Khalil Herbert good because Khalil Herbert is just this like really explosive. Like we've seen him blow up runs, and he is really exciting going out there. So for me, best ball, I've been clicking him more, but Roschon still really intrigues me.
Sure,
I just don't know if
he should.
I don't. Maybe I should look into that and see if I can find anything.
Yeah, because I really feel like I haven't heard too much about that. This hasn't really been covered that much. But like Swift can get injured, so I feel like we should dig into that deeper.
Yeah, and like I said, I've been clicking some Herberts. I don't know. Maybe we should check after how many really I have. It felt like I was clicking on quite a few.
Yeah, but who's getting drafted first on Underdog usually?
I think it's Herbert, and that's kind of what I've been trusting, not knowing anything about that backfield.
I think that makes sense. But yeah, we should probably look into it more.
Yeah, it's Herbert. But I just clicked on a Roschon the other day, I believe.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So we're about to be up. So we're not gonna take.
The Rams are part of that group we were talking about, right?
They play the Dolphins and the Niners, I believe, in that group, and the Cardinals. So.
Okay, so we got all players from that grouping, so that's pretty cool right now.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so
Cam Akers for the Texans later. So.
Yeah. Okay. So what players from those NFL teams might be available here?
We can kind of go into that. There's really nothing.
I guess Stroud doesn't make a lot of sense on stacked.
Yeah, there's really nothing, but we can
just
go.
Get a receiver, like you want to get like a dude. Oh, Reed. Want to get?
I was gonna say we can go. Wait, let's go and do. Wait, let's go Reed and then.
Oh, Reed. Let's just commit.
We can go both of them. We can get both.
Oh wait, because Reed is from the other set. Okay,
no. We can get together. Yeah, we can get these sets of players all together right now.
Yeah.
And that's completely fine.
Yeah, maybe as an experiment, we can only draft in this draft. We can only take players from like those whatever it was, like 8 or 9 like NFL teams, and like see how it turns out.
Yeah, like we'll just try to do our best to get as many of them because
Yeah, I mean that'd be pretty fun. I mean, I guess we could like I mean, we could make an exception or two, but I mean let's try as much as possible to just take players from those like 8 or 9 teams or whatever it is.
This is my best ball take, and maybe this I need to start finding in the next contest to start peppering them in.
Yeah.
The winning team of, I guess I'll have to say Best Ball Mania, but I think most of the winning teams of these tournaments are going to be heavy on that Packers, like NFC North minus. Technically, the Lions are like part of the other one. They're not part of the NFC North one because the Seahawks take place of the. Anyways, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be like the Vikings, Bears, Seahawks, Packers, or it's going to be. They're going to be very heavy on like the other side, or maybe a combo of the both. And I know that's covering a lot of teams, but like, we have all these stacks and stuff like that, and the important players of these winning teams are going to be coming from these the teams I just highlighted.
Yeah,
and I feel very confident about that, and.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really intriguing strategy and potentially unique. So, like, I'd say we lean into it.
The fact that no one has I've never heard anyone actually talking truly about these bubbles and high or whatever. I don't even know. We need to get a better, term for this.
Right.
The fact that no one's been talking about it means no one's been probably consciously, like, going out of the way to, like, really dive in and get all those teams together.
Right.
And it hasn't been getting kind of regurgitated to the audiences, and they haven't been doing it. So people probably kind of like lucked into getting it or through other ways, but it's probably like a low-owned thing where we've just focused on getting these players.
Yeah, I would think so because even if like one or two, a few random guys out there have thought of it, like the fact that it hasn't been like
just talked about
broadcasting it, the fact that it's not being like covered on like YouTube channels and podcasts, at least that I've heard, and like I said, I consume a lot of content, so I would imagine it'd be pretty unique.
Yeah, and because everyone's focusing so much on these Week 17 things, a lot of people are going to have really similar teams in that fashion where we can still hit that, but we want to do it in a different way. As well as people are going to be focusing on offenses that completely like dust their ADPs or whatever, dust their I guess their ADPs overperform. That can still happen, and stuff for offenses. Like I really like, probably the Bears could be a good example of that, even though they're pretty high. But the Seahawks for certainly, so you can still kind of knock out these things that we want. Drafting this way, but whatever. We check a few boxes that other people are doing, but do it in a little more unique of a way.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, Addison, I guess, would be one of those guys.
He's just like, dude, apparently he might not get suspended this year. I forget what something got pushed back or whatever, and he might not get suspended at all. So put a discount on him, but
I mean, we're taking him in seems like just like every other draft, it feels like. But hey, he seems to be a good value, and
I'm fine with it. So
it fits the build with going with these particular NFL teams. So
we do need to start get. Oh, I was gonna say Najee would have been just perfect for touches and.
Because wait, do we have any running backs yet?
We don't. I'm fine with it because we have the most information on the running backs at least.
Did Mostert get taken?
He did. So
that would have been nice.
Oh my God, we just got obliterated by that. So, what do we think here? We don't really like Swift, I don't think, but he fits.
So wait, Odunze's part of that second set?
He is. At least we can get a bear.
Let's get Swift. Yeah, let's get Swift. Yeah. I like that. We need a running back.
This is what I like clicking on him.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Other than that, we don't need a receiver at all. We can really fit.
Yeah, I'd probably just reach for a running back here. I mean, is there anyone that makes sense? Or should we get Love? Do we have a quarterback yet?
We don't, but we could take Odunze. I mean, I'll put Love, but we could get because there's a lot of quarterbacks, Caleb and stuff like that too. Do you Pollard should be going up in my opinion, but I don't know. Do you want him? I don't know. Let's just. He's kind of the exception, I guess. I
guess maybe we kind of have to make an exception here because we just so behind at running back. So I'm okay with it. But
I'm just gonna do it
That's
for structure.
probably the right move.
The reason why, yeah, I didn't want Love is because we're the only guy with Packers pass catcher right now, or unless maybe Watson went.
Okay.
But there is Caleb. There is Purdy. There's who's the other
Sam
guy?
Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no, we don't have any blinds, but yeah, there's a bunch of people to take still.
Yeah, we'll be okay at quarterback, but yeah, I kind of felt like we needed a running back there. I mean, especially like being at the end of the round, like you get the back-to-back picks, and then it's like forever until you pick again. So
yeah,
you just don't know what the board's going to look like the next time you're on the clock. So I think like we needed 2 running backs there.
We want to be afloat at running back too, with like kind of 2 starting type players.
Yeah.
Because if we want this team to ever have a chance to make the finals, and we want Cam Akers to matter.
Yeah.
We definitely need to get some guys getting some touches as well. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I'm glad we got 2 running backs on the squad now.
Yeah. So I will start some guys here. So yeah, we have Debo. Yeah, perfect.
I mean, the wide receiver room's pretty awesome. So like, yeah. I mean, maybe take like 1 or 2 more at the most, but like we're pretty well set there. So like, Kelsey can like hold down the tight end room. We just need to add like 1 more guy to him. So pretty much like all we have to really worry about is just like running back and quarterback for the most part.
Yeah, exactly. Like we can kind of see where the wide receiver position takes us if there's anything screaming, because we can still. I know Lockett might not be that interesting, but he has been falling a bit, and then he simply fits the bill. Is all.
Oh yeah, I don't like Lockett, but like on this bill, like you don't even have to talk me into him. Like it'll work.
Yeah. So, and then obviously like Fant is like kind of like a tight end 2 or something.
Oh yeah, I would love Fant to finish off the tight end room paired with Kelsey. That'd be perfect.
Here's another one, just depending on how the draft goes. I have not clicked Komet once this year. He was one of my most drafted players last year. I know that. So the reason there's so much target competition, all that, blah blah blah. But if you're going in for the Bears, Cole Kmet just randomly always scores like 3 touchdowns a couple times here, like 2 or 3 touchdowns, and he's just this random spike guy.
Yeah, but that's when he's playing like 100% of snaps. Like no one plays more snaps than Cole Kmet. But the problem is like this year, I think like the backup now to like freaking Gerald Everett. I mean,
well, I don't know if he's the backup, but they like playing both of them. You're right. So it is pretty muddy. I'm sure his ADP is pretty affected by that, but. Sure, I mean,
he'd really have to fall. I mean, I feel like I'm taking a backup tight end. Like I would much rather have like the Fants, the Tyler Conklins of the world, or just anybody else. I mean, I'd almost rather have like Tucker Kraft. I mean, like give me a backup tight end with more upside that's could legitimately win the starting job. But like with the Bears, I feel like it's always going to be murky all season unless there's an injury.
Did you know that I think he's the highest paid tight end in the league this year or something crazy? Off his new contract. Yeah, it's something.
God, that's crazy.
If he's not the highest, he's right there. So it's pretty absurd. They're gonna use him, and yeah, to me, like I haven't clicked him just because I don't think he's a good pick in general, but he at least, and there's better options. But if you go on the Bears, though, he is a guy that like if he makes your lineup, like you're probably advancing, that week. Like,
yeah, but like I mean, last year, did you enjoy owning Noah Fant and Colby Parkinson and Will Dissly? I mean, it's like I just don't, with that offensive, with that coach, like I just feel like it's going to be a mess with the tight end room.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't need to like talk me out of Cole Kmet. Like I have not clicked him once, but
I'm trying to because I really don't. It just doesn't feel good.
Like, I'm fine with that. There's and again,
we'll see what happens. I mean, if we get desperate, I guess we could call him some kind of plan B. But it doesn't feel good.
Like I just prefer Hawkinson a million times more. He's right there, and we're fine to take a Hawkinson this build and go double technically elite because we have Kelsey. And as Kelsey slows down,
it almost feels like overkill, but
but it's not on ADP though. But it's not overkill.
So. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Right, because you only need to take 2.
The only problem is Kelsey has a bye in week 6, and they just announced some news on Hawkinson saying that like I think they said he's going to miss like 4 to 8 weeks. Let me double check what they said. I mean,
hey, we're on the clock here, so let's.
Okay, Lockett's there.
So
put him at the top.
We could go like Love and then try to get Kraft later.
Yeah,
because he's low owned.
I mean, we already have Reed.
Oh, he was a huge value. Sorry.
Yeah, we need Love because we could also get like Kraft and Melton, Emmanuel Wilson. So let's just like load up on Packers.
Okay, we're also up. Yeah, do I go?
You want to get Purdy?
I was thinking Gino, and then we go Fan or something.
Purdy.
But Purdy, okay.
Go Purdy. I kind of feel like that solidified our quarterback room all of a sudden. Yeah. Just like how we went back-to-back running backs, now we went back-to-back quarterbacks. Yeah. All of a sudden,
we can be done at quarterback now, and like
I think we can be done. Yeah, exactly. So now we can take like even more shots and get those like Bo Meltons and Emmanuel Wilsons and maybe even like Cam Akers and Jordan Masons. We can get all those guys now because like we only had to roster 2 QBs and 2 tight ends. So I love that.
Yeah, good call.
And we got the stack with Debo, of course, and he's a 49er. I mean, it's too perfect.
Yeah, you're right. So
and we're so good at receiver that we didn't even need Lockett.
Do you think Cowling is draftable in this? Like, he would be so low owned that if he ever did anything,
right,
it would be like Tank Dell-esque.
I mean, I would be willing to do it just on the upside and uniqueness of it, and I love Cowling, so like, like you don't have to talk me into it. Like, I'm down to just gamble on it.
Yeah,
and I feel like this would be the perfect team to do it on.
Let's get like galaxy brain here, where like Pearsall is just like out of it. Okay.
Right. Which he could be.
CMC in this case is like out too, just the calf thing. Debo is now taking snaps at running back.
Right.
But like moderately.
Oh, I see where you're going. Yeah.
Now Cowing gets pushed onto the field.
Right, because Debo's a running back now, so all of a sudden, like Cowing's like their wide receiver. Let's go, baby.
Has anyone thought through this before? But like, I mean, there's a chance maybe they're doing some dual backfield stuff, and we have Mason, Cowing, and Debo.
I like where your head's at. Like, I'm convinced. You've talked me into it.
So we got to be very we got to be very intentional with our last picks, as of which way we take these players, I guess.
Yeah.
If we're gonna consider Cowing, let's obviously leave him for the end and make sure he's not getting drafted all of a sudden, because he has not been.
What about Malik Washington? I mean, if we want to get unique, I mean, obviously we don't want to go like too crazy.
He's part of the hive. He's part of the hive, so I like it. I think he should be getting drafted.
There as an option.
Yeah, I actually really agree with that. I clicked him once or twice. I think we clicked them together.
Yeah, we clicked them once. Yeah.
We're not gonna get Ford, but like Ford would be perfect for this build, like just at this very second, because we can kind of solidify our touches, then hit upside.
Oh yeah, I mean I like Ford even more now with Deontay Foreman being cut. So like, I mean Ford could be more than just like an early season guy kind of at this point. So like I think we got to kind of steam him up a bit in these drafts.
We're not gonna get him, but maybe this is a draft to, again, we can just hope these players come to us, but like Corum would be an obvious guy at
I'd love Corum on this team.
Yeah. Yeah, again, we're probably not gonna get him, but just trying to think of some Hive guys here. That's
some Hive guys. I like that.
Yeah. Sharb.
Oh, and then we got Hive 1 and we got Hive 2.
Yeah, exactly. There's
we got our own lingo now. Let's go.
So I'll start these guys from the Hives here.
Yeah, Ty Chandler would be a nice Hive 2 guy.
Yeah. We got we're the Hive Bros here. Best ball Hive.
Oh yeah, exactly. Hashtag Hive guys.
Yeah. So that would be a good double tap. We could just flat out double tap
Chandler and Jalen Wright. Oh my god. That's my kind of double tap right there.
My only issue is like, do we need more touches at running back, and how do we fix that?
Well, I think Chandler gets the touches, and I think Jalen Wright. I mean, you're just kind of like closing your eyes and you're taking a leap of faith. That's A-Chain or Moser is just going to get injured at some point, and like they're going to find a way to get him touches. Like it's just going to happen. So
just thinking for like the first half of the season, how we can get these two guys through, where if they're exploding.
I mean, do we want to like reach and take like Hubbard or like try to get him on the squads somehow?
The only thing is, let's see. We're gonna miss on one of these guys, so we have to take Wright and Chandler, but we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Maybe it's like something crazy like Antonio Gibson, where you maybe get some receiving work. I've never clicked him, but he at least somewhat interests me. I don't know if there's anyone else that's better.
No, Antonio Gibson. Dude, like. I know
you wouldn't like to hear it at all, but
he's not even a Hive guy.
We don't even. I know, but we don't even like really Ramondre. So it's if you're betting against like a player like Ramondre, you might as well get a little bit of. I know.
I'd just rather take like Ray Davis. I think he'll be playing early. It could be more of a committee than people realize with James Cook. What about like Jaleel McLaughlin? He'll get early touches and touches in general.
Actually, he might be there. I did see him, but I assume he wasn't going to be there because Chuba.
Yeah, well, he falls. Like this would be a team that he'd kind of work on.
Yeah, let's hope for Jaleel or Ray, and obviously I have a bunch of Ray Davis. So I was trying to look for a different name, but I'm completely fine taking him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So let's kind of review what we got here. So we are loaded at receiver. Maybe we can just it might not be part of the Hive, but we can go for like a McMillan Cowing type thing.
Okay.
And just shoot for the sky.
Right. And then what about we don't want to get sniped on like Jordan Mason, so we don't want to wait like too long to take a guy like him or maybe even Emmanuel Wilson. So like I don't know, maybe we should just start like queuing these guys up so we don't forget about him.
Yeah, he's already Jordan Mason. I'll try to do it in order here.
Yeah, Emmanuel Wilson you might have to search for. I'm sure he's buried.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to get him somewhat in order.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I'll at least put.
Maybe Whittington might be a guy to start, just have on the list.
Yeah, he's part of it, so I like that. Oh yeah, Akers. Let's get Akers on.
Yeah.
There. Yeah, look at him. He's way back there, and yeah, we definitely need to like try and jump the gun by a round or so to make sure we get these guys.
Yeah, I'm good with that because it's critical to make this team unique, given that we like reached on Rashee Rice earlier compared to like earlier drafts, like early in the season.
Yeah,
off-season,
exactly.
whatever you want to call it, yeah.
Is there any? I don't think there's any steal. I was just thinking of like again, if there was a guy that kind of fit, just like we were heavy on KC stuff. If there was a stealer, I don't think there is. It's pretty gross. Like this was Cordero.
Make sure to star Noah Fant. We can't forget about him.
That's right. Yeah, make sure we at least have him in here.
I'd probably put him maybe higher.
And then Tucker Kraft.
Oh yeah, Kraft for sure.
Oh yeah, Colby Parkinson.
Oh, Parkinson, beautiful. Yeah, he's a great option.
So
we got a lot of good options here.
Yeah, should be happy with whatever we come out with. Honestly, like it sucks that somehow maybe we got such a good value on Love and not that I didn't like it, but because I always want to pack the tight ends together, and then it sucks like we have an elite tight end. I would love to get Colby and Kraft in the same team, but I don't know if that makes any sense. Probably not, but
we'll see how it goes. But yeah, probably just one would make more sense. So maybe we just kind of see who falls, who we get a value on if we don't like care too much which one we get.
Yeah, like I would prefer Parkinson. Sorry, is why I'm also saying that just in a vacuum.
Yeah.
But Kraft makes way more sense for the draft with Love. So.
Yeah. Michael Wilson's sitting there as well. He might get sniped here,
I can't believe that.
You could throw him on there.
Yeah, I was looking at him a long time ago because he's been at the top forever. And...
Oh, okay. So yeah, maybe he's just too good of a value. That could finish our wide receiver room if we got him.
Yeah, I honestly want to click a Jalen McMillan because he's kind of in this range, but I don't know if we'll have the chance to do that anyways. So
even though he's not a Hive guy.
I'd be fine with that because not everyone can be, and he's kind of fits if you're not gonna click a guy that's like gonna be part of the Hive, you should at least get a guy that's like Jalen McMillan and he's like a breakout potential receiver and can.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's typically the kind of wide receiver you want to get late. Though I do think Michael Wilson could have some sneaky upside. Like
I would prefer Wilson.
Sleeping on.
Yeah, I'd for sure prefer Wilson. But I mean, hey, at this pace, he might just fall to us. So here's something to think about with the Ray Davis. Maybe the construction isn't great, but if we just go Mason and Akers, we have 6.
We do what?
Let's think about this for a second. We can afford 14 players between running back and receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Is this going to be like a 2-7-7? This could be like a 2-7-7-2 then. So maybe we do want.
Or wait, or could
Ray Davis.
Do you want to take 2 more receivers or 1 more?
I think 2 more, but we'll see.
All right, so we're on the clock here.
Yeah, so Ray Davis is at the head. I'm fine taking Ray Davis because
Just we need the running back
we need a
help.
running back, and he can certainly give us some early stuff.
Okay, but is that going to screw up wanting to
Nope.
take like Mason and Akers late? Mason and Akers later. Okay.
No, it shouldn't. We just got to make.
Want to go Fant?
Yeah, I'm thinking we just take Fant here.
Take Fant. Yeah, we're done.
But wait. But we're done. So yeah, tight end, you're fine with that. No
I'm good with that. Unless I feel like ADP, it makes sense unless you wanted to reach for Jordan Mason now. I guess we'll go Fant. Yeah, I mean, kind of tough call there.
Yeah, Kraft is like it's really hard to like want to draft him in the two tight end. It's a big payoff.
But yeah, I think it makes more sense if we're only going 2 tight ends that we need someone more secure than Kraft.
Yeah. We needed something in Seattle. So
you could have talked me into Parkinson as the tight end too, but I think Fant feels a little more secure.
That was my hesitation at the end. I was thinking, oh man, Parkinson's so much cheaper, but then I'm also looking at these ADPs and they're right in the same range. So
yeah, and plus like, I mean, not that I'm like too worried about Tyler Higbee, but I guess you could kind of throw that in there as like a mild concern at the end of the season.
For week 17, yeah.
Yeah, so I think Fant just makes all the sense in the world as a tight end 2 and a 2 tight end build.
Yeah, we did need something Seattle. We ended up getting it, and he's the last realistic one.
Yeah, so I think that just fit perfectly there.
Yeah, so we're looking at 4 more picks.
Okay.
Let's try to plan these out here.
Yeah, so who are the critical guys we want to come away with? Like Jordan Mason,
Definitely those 2.
Yeah, and what about Emmanuel Wilson? Can we get him on the queue?
I'll put him. I don't know if he's like, I know he's low owned, and I don't know if he's that important.
Yeah, because at the end of the season, you could have like Marshawn Lloyd out there.
Yeah, he's like certainly probably at the bottom of the list no matter what.
Yeah, I agree.
But again, he does kind of fit. I'm gonna throw Naylor on here too as like another receiver.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I love Naylor.
Just because we don't have any minutes. No, we do have Ty Chandler. So, and those were my boys last year. Great.
Naylor seems like a perfect best ball kind of wide receiver, and he fits the hive. So what's not to like? We've always kind of liked Naylor.
Yeah. Naylor and Chandler. I mean, that'll be always my claim to fame last year. Were my boys, and one worked out, the other one was on IR. So.
They were definitely part of the hive even last year.
Yeah, exactly. So
there's like the fantasy flock. Like we're they got the flock, we got the hive. Yeah, so join the hive. Subscribe, join the hive.
Yeah. So 5. Yeah. So what are we thinking here? 2772 or 2862? It could be.
I wouldn't mind that. You could talk me into that.
Yeah.
I'm hard to talk too much like Ron Stewart. He's always like, "Oh, you could talk me into
I want to talk you more into the 2772 just because our receiver room is awesome, but I think there's certainly some value in trying to get the Cowing or the Naylor over the Emmanuel Wilson.
Yeah, I'm good with it. I'm good with that. Yeah.
I like these picks over Emmanuel as well. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. So.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
And
then what about like? Do we like Whittington more, or like which 2 wide receivers would you take if you had your choice there?
Yeah. So we got 2. So I take. Hopefully we come away with Whittington. Actually.
Is he getting drafted in most underdog drafts?
He is now. So maybe. Okay. Here's the thing. We own Puka. Here's actually what I think is probably more optimal off the top of my head. There's a double tap with Cowing and Naylor because Naylor's actually going to be out there week 1.
Yeah, right.
That has more value to this receiver room with going with only 7.
Okay.
Cowing's like the Whittington bet. So we don't need both of those, I don't think.
Yeah, so we should only go one of Cowing and Whittington, I agree.
Yeah. And we already have Puka, so there is
want to just go Cowing then?
Yeah, so we'll go Cowing and Naylor as our last 2, hopefully.
So are we gonna go like Cam Akers with our next pick then?
So Mason Akers.
Mason Akers. Okay, yeah, double tap running back, double tap receiver. Perfect.
Oh my god, did Mason go already?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, that was hard to avoid. I mean, the only thing we could have done was take Mason there and then
wait, who did we pick over him? With like our previous pick before
Fant.
Mason?
We had to reach on Fant too, a little bit, but he wouldn't have been there. So
yeah, so I guess we couldn't have gotten both. So okay,
it probably would have been better in that case than just to pray for Kraft, like whatever, like later. But I don't know. We didn't know he was going to go for sure. It made sense he would, though. I guess we didn't really.
Yeah, but I think like there was a better chance of Mason falling to us later than Fant, so I think it was the right call.
Yeah, there was no chance that Mason was going to, or sorry, Fant was going to fall.
Yeah,
I agree. So, we got to go.
You want to go Cam Akers? I mean, it's. I don't think we have to worry about the ADP at this point. We just gotta
you gotta just shoot a shot. But who was our other guy? Yeah, I don't think we have to. Is there another running back we like more?
It was gonna be Mason.
We need another running back. Should we go? Wait, let's go.
Oh, go Lloyd.
Let's go Lloyd.
Perfect. Perfect fill-in.
Perfect. Yeah. So we instead of drafting Emmanuel Wilson later, we get Lloyd, and then we take Akers here.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then go Cowing and Naylor. Yeah.
Love it.
Okay. Good problem solving there.
Yep. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this team here.
Dude, yeah, and I think the exciting part about we only have 2 technical starting running backs that are like I don't even feel good about. At least like, maybe some of these are blowouts and they're just, handing some...
I mean, it feels like a ton of upside. I mean, these are like, explosive young players. They're fast, like, they're on good offenses. Like, I mean, what's not to like?
We don't want to pray for some injuries, but there's a lot of chances. One of these guys step up early, or just again, like the Dolphins are blowing someone out. The Bills are blowing someone out.
Fourth quarter, Jalen Wright's going to be like the closer.
We really just need one of these guys to fall in the end zone randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually really like that running back room. As gross as it might look to someone else, like it's kind of exciting to me.
Yeah, and every person but. Well, actually, every person but Pollard and technically Ray Davis are part of the coin hive.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and unstar. I'll keep Whittington there just in case someone else gets picked. But
okay.
Yeah. Let's think it through at least. Actually, like at least Whittington versus Cowing.
Right.
They are still the same bet, but we have the stack with Purdy.
Yeah.
Versus if Whittington goes in, thrust in, maybe it's because Puka got hurt himself. I mean, there's certainly a chance of that.
And also what you were saying about like, if Debo's playing more running back, that would be good for his value. So if we're kind of going for the ceiling scenario, then like Cowing's playing more wide receiver snaps than he would. Yeah. So I think it all kind of just fits together. And would be the right pick there.
We completely forgot too, and obviously we can't get all these guys. But
yeah.
What do you think about him versus Naylor? Because he fits the hive as well, but he's going to be out there right away too. So what about Naylor in Washington? Is there like I don't know, Cowing, Naylor,
Washington's going to be out there right away? Like I'm actually like I think there's a chance, but like I don't think it's guaranteed because like Beckham could be back soon.
No, he's on the pop or IR or whatever. So
who is
Odell? So it's wheels up for Malik here.
Okay, interesting.
So that makes it pretty difficult. To me, like now adding that in, we don't have.
Let me just double check that because I hadn't heard that. So let me just.
I saw a sleeper today, I believe. So try to see if you can. Yeah.
Placed on pup. So that means he's gonna at least miss the first 4 weeks of the year. So that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I really wanted to take Cowing, but Malik's also like so low owned. Maybe we go like.
You think it's more unique?
Well, I think they're just
probably already been drafting Naylor for a couple weeks, don't you think?
Certainly, yeah, but the reason I'm thinking Naylor too, though, is like there's a lot of value in just having a Naylor versus a Cowing for just advancing, right? You gotta.
Okay, so just take the safe bet.
Well, we're taking like the knots. None of these guys are even safe, but we can still go Naylor Washington.
Oh, I see.
Everyone's part of the hive, but like.
Yeah, I think it's probably a higher percentage bet. So
we're already like pretty. Again, I don't want to say it's sketchy at running back, but like every point matters in the regular season for this team. I think. With our picks, and we don't want to miss out on making the playoffs with this roster if it's the difference between picking Naylor and Cowing. In my opinion.
Okay, I'm good with it. I'll trust your judgment on that. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting like one share of Cowing at some point. I don't know if we'll have that opportunity, but yeah, I think this is probably the right decision.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. It feels a little more upside to me to just go ahead and get the Malik over him. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm good with that.
Yeah, and again, Malik's gonna be running routes. I want routes out of these.
Yeah, guys exactly. I mean, it's best ball, so you want him out there.
Yeah, and what I would say too is I'd feel better picking Cowing over both these guys if we had like 8 or whatever plus receivers. So
yeah,
maybe a different build we can try to
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
do that. And maybe try to pick some more Purdy in that case too.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, get the stack.
So we'll go Naylor and Malik. Boom. So unique, not unique, but 2772. Maybe for us, unique.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting team. I think it's a pretty unique team. Just
Yeah.
with the players we got and the combination. So yeah,
Yeah.
pretty.
If you get your like these 4 bets right or somewhat right at the right time of the season and playoffs, you got a lot of shots to build a super team.
Oh yeah.
Along these lines here. So
Yeah, because I mean those running back and wide receiver rooms on the squad are just loaded with a lot of talent and upside. So yeah, it's a fun team.
Yeah, that was actually probably one of our more fun drafts, like just in general.
Oh yeah.
I wish that $3 one was up, man, but it just isn't, unfortunately. And they probably, I mean, there's what, another 10 days. They'll definitely have our contest up, and maybe we should get on here and do like a frenzy of like, it'll probably be like a 20-second clock or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
For like a puppy or something, and we should do a stream whenever that drops and just like try to knock out quite a few.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah, so we'll do another BBM tomorrow because that was a lot of fun.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, tomorrow's our usual day for live streaming Wednesday. So we'll definitely be live streaming then. Surely doing some kind of best ball draft and talking about whatever's going on. Certainly a lot of news happening today, and wouldn't be surprised if that continued into tomorrow. So definitely be discussing that. So yeah, tune in tomorrow. Hit the notification bell if you want to be alerted. Subscribe if you want to be part of the hive. And we will see you guys tomorrow.
Awesome. Yeah.